Hey class! Today we're going to be talking about prepositions of place, and we're going to be talking about two words, below and under. Below and under have very similar meanings, but you cannot always substitute them for each other in a sentence. Sometimes it's correct to use the word below, and sometimes it's correct to use the word under. What we're going to learn about today is when do you use below and when do you use under. First, let's start by talking about the word under. The important thing to remember when you're talking about any preposition of place is that you are talking about the relation between two nouns. When you're using the words under or below, you're talking about one thing being on top of another. If you're using the word under, it is common to use it when something is covered by another thing. For an example, we could say, the cat is under the blanket, where the blanket is on top of the cat, it covers the cat, and the cat is directly under the blanket. A second time you would use under is if you were talking about something's age or the number of times that something has happened. So for example, we could say, in Canada, you cannot drink alcohol if you are under 19 years old. Or you could also say, I have lost my house keys under 5 times, meaning less than 5 times, or if you are less than 19 years old, you cannot drink alcohol. Finally, the word under is also used in many common expressions. Now, these expressions are sometimes not literal, but they are still used to show the relationship between two things. They can be used to talk about certain situations, like saying he is under pressure, or he is under the weather, meaning sick. But it could also be used to show power dynamics or control, like saying he is under arrest. Now, when you're talking about the word below, you do use it less frequently than under, but there are some times when you would use the word below instead of the word under. One example of a time you would use the word below instead of under is if you were talking about the relationship between two nouns, but there is some distance between them. So in our first example, we said the cat is under the blanket. And in this situation, the cat and the blanket are directly next to each other. The blanket is touching the cat. We would not say the cat is below the blanket because there is a direct connection. But we could say, for example, the sewers are below the city because there is a large distance between the sewers and the city above. It is not directly under, there is some gap between them. A second time we would use below instead of under is if we were talking about something that has a measured scale. So for example, we could say, the temperature in winter is often below 0. We would not say that the temperature is under 0, because in this situation, temperature is the measured scale. So when in doubt, it is usually better to use the word under rather than below, because under has much more uses than below. It is important to remember when you should use below, because in those situations it would not be correct to use under. So to go back to our example of temperature, that is a measured scale, and we would use below. Or if there is a distance between two things, again, we would use below. But under is much more useful in many other contexts. So you can use under to talk about physical things, like when we said the cat is under the blanket. You can use under to talk about feelings or emotions. You can use under to talk about power relationships, or you can use under to talk about things like sickness. So there are many uses of under, many uses of below, but it's important to remember when you should use each of them. I hope this video has been helpful, and if it has, please subscribe. Post your comments or questions in the comment section, and I will help you out with them as soon as I can. Have a great day. See you next time.